Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Sagittarius. That's Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Rising, for the month of June 2023. Before we get into the reading, let's look at a little astrology. Of course, June is, as always, seems like every month, is an active astrological month, not as intense as May. May was probably the most intense month for the year, but still intense enough. And some of the intensity that came to a peak in May will continue. We will continue to feel that through the summer. Sag, as a Sagittarius, you are ruled by the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is now in Taurus. That happened last month, moved into Taurus. Now, interestingly enough, Jupiter in Taurus is a little bit not difficult for Sag, but a little bit more uncomfortable. Sag likes freedom, and Taurus likes us to put roots down. And so it's a little against the Sagittarius sort of natural tendency to just sort of go off on adventures. With Jupiter and Taurus, the adventures need to be a little bit closer to home, perhaps. We do have a full moon in your sign in Sagittarius. I believe that happens on the 3rd or the 4th, depending on where you live. That full moon in Sag means the moon is in your 1st house, so it's going to be emotional for you, and the sun is going to be in your 7th house, so you'll have an illumination around the other. And the 7th house isn't just your relationship to other people, such as relationship to business partners or marriage partners. It is an energy of partnership, but it's all an energy of your higher self. And so we truly, in our search for the other and our search for completion in our lives, what we're really searching for is that spiritual side of ourselves that we see reflected in others. And so you're going to get a nice view of what's who you are and who the people you relate to are. Now, Saturn is square that full moon, excuse me, axis. And let's see, so Saturn would be in your 10th house. So there can be some challenges there can be a sense of being held down by other people's expectations of you. What others expect of you is their issue, not yours. Of course, it doesn't mean that you get to just do what you want without a care for what other people, how you affect other people. That's different. But you may feel a little bit judged by the outer world, but it's only going to be an issue if it's an issue for you. So the more integrated you are, the more loving you are to yourself, the less it's going to matter. But Saturn does go retrograde up there in that 10th house for you. So you may have to go over some of the things that you've put forward since Saturn moved into Pisces, which happens in March. So it's just a review process of, how you've put yourself out there, especially if you're putting yourself out there with the theme of spirituality. Just an attempt to look back, review what you've done, see what has worked, see what hasn't worked. And then once Saturn goes direct again, you'll have an opportunity to change what needs to be changed or stick with what's working. Okay. Pluto changes signs. It is retrograde now. It is in just a few minutes of Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius has been quite amazing in its way. And we're getting a little bit of taste what the next 20 years is going to be for us. But now we have to go back to that Capricorn energy and deal with what needs to be dealt with. For you, Sagittarius, Capricorn is in your 2nd house. So this is a time now to just go over your values, what's important to you, your resources, what you're dealing with, and how better to just sort of shore that up So when Pluto does go back into Aquarius and moves into that house of the mind, um, you'll be ready and more stable to move forward in that. Um, what else? Venus is moving into Leo. For you, Sagittarius, that Leo is your ninth house. Now, Venus is going to be in Leo for a long time because we have a Venus retrograde cycle. The ninth house is your house, Sagittarius, the house that naturally rules it. So it's about love of justice, love of what's fair. The ninth house can be long distance trips. So you may have an opportunity to take some long distance trips, even though Venus is going to go retrograde. But there's a lot of lessons to be learned and the lessons to be had. Venus is our relationship to ourself. It's our relationship to others. And in order to have healthy relationships with others, you need to first love and appreciate self. It's a lesson that I think we all learn. We usually do it the opposite way, love and appreciate somebody else, until we find out that loving and appreciating the other, while is nice, it doesn't necessarily give you the sense of agency, because you can't control another person. But when you love yourself, you have, and that spreads out, you will attract people who will love you. So you can't expect people to do what you wouldn't do for yourself. So this is how love works, right? So we're all going to be learning that as Venus goes through Leo, how to best shine our light, where perhaps we're being a little bit egotistical with that, but eventually we come to a better understanding of our own heart through that process. And as it were, Venus, once it moves into Leo, makes an immediate opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. And this happens right before Pluto moves back into Capricorn. So we get a real good view of, excuse me, the pollen is just killing me. You go along and then all of a sudden there's like a hairball in your throat, and it's just really just a pollen ball. Anyway, that opposition of Pluto to Venus gives you a sense of the power of love, the power of love, to face the future with a certain amount of confidence and optimism. And if anybody is optimistic, it's you guys. So stay optimistic, but also stay realistic. Okay, let's see, is there anything else I want to mention? If you want to get a fuller picture of what's happening astrologically, you can check out my astrology and Kabbalah of the month ahead. That's going to come out a little bit later today or tomorrow. I just came back from Ireland, so I'm still lagging behind, and trying to get back into the swing of things. So you can check that out, and then each week I do the week ahead, and you can get deeper into the astrology if that's what you like. All right, let's get started with the reading. So let me get a deck here. I have one here somewhere. All right, well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my deck. So we're using the Druidcraft Tarot, which is actually one of my favorite decks for Sagittarius, as Sagittarius really has that energy of connection to nature and the wisdom of nature and the wisdom of natural law, as opposed to man's law, which is more of a Saturn thing. This is natural law. All right. What is up for Sag? Just a couple more quick shuffles here. They get a nice, there we go. That feels good. One more. Some people have like a system. They do it 7 times, or they do it. I just do it till it feels right. Sometimes it hardly takes a shuffle, and sometimes it takes a few. All right, let's see. I think we're done. All right. Yeah, feels good. All right. What do we start with here? Oops. Rebirth. This is the Judgment card. This is coming out of the grave. This is, yeah, being reborn. So you are in the process of rebirth here. You're in the process of rebirth. The Judgment card, the rebirth card in this deck is indicative of coming out of those things that had held you back initially, right? Though the structures that have kept you in the dark, the light has shown, and now you're coming out more enlightened and more integrated with your own soul. Let's see the challenge to that. The Four of Cups. Four of Cups is divine discontent if you find yourself in that situation. It's most important for you to look and see what is being offered to you. You can't look in the same place that you could find fulfillment before. You need to go outside of the box that you were in, because you are, remember, reborn. And when you're reborn, all the rules sort of change for you. So when you find yourself sort of going, oh no, not this again, don't look for the same solutions in the same places. They're going to be in a different place. Let's see what's underneath it all. Oh, the Two of Cups. This is relationship stuff. Remember that full moon in Sagittarius activated your I and thou axis, the axis of identity. Who am I and who do I relate to? And so what's underneath it is a question of who do I love, or who will love me, or what do I love? Or the Two of Cups is about sharing the cup, but having your own cup, right? Being willing, being whole within yourself and relating to somebody who's whole within themselves. Let's see what's in the past. The Five of Cups. So you've had a lot of heartache and you've had to mourn. There's a lot of mourning here. But this card always says, you take the time to mourn, but then look around and see what's left. So there is this sense of, if you're not seeing it right in front of you, to sort of look around and see what is at your disposal. A lot of very intense emotional cards here. In the sky, we have the star. Your guiding star is there. You need to just look up. So this is about now that you're out of the tomb of your old life, it's time to look up to the stars, to get reoriented and to decide the direction of your life. So a new direction is available to you if you're willing to look up to the sky. We have the Seven of Wands here in the immediate future. You still have to have a keen eye on what's coming, but you have the higher ground. You know what's coming and you can fight it off. As long as you keep the higher moral ground here, you should be in fine shape. Not all the danger is gone, but you just need to be vigilant, not hyper vigilant, not that, but vigilant and intelligent and focused. Okay. You know more now than you knew before, so you can utilize that new knowledge. How it's seen from the other side. They see you as a seer. The Princess of Wands is the messenger. You are the messenger of spirit. Domestic situation, the Eight of Pentacles. Just continue to do the work that you're doing. It can sometimes feel a little like drudgery, but it's important that you deal with the details of things, whether it's money, because we're dealing with pentacles, or the kind of work that you do. Just keep applying yourself. Keep applying yourself. Hopes and fears, the Eight of Wands. This is more information coming in. Maybe you're hoping for that. You want to have a bigger perspective or more information to make better decisions. It's available to you always. And the outcome, we have the World card. So this is indicating that something is coming to an end. This is a manifestation card. So if there's something that you've been working on, this month is the time that it comes into manifestation. Maybe you're writing a book, maybe you have a project, maybe you have a work project, maybe you have a room in your house that you've been renovating. This is the month where that comes to fruition and you have an ability to move on to a new project. Let's see what's underneath it all here. We have the Prince of Pentacles. This is the prince that is careful, carefully plans and protects the work that he has done already. The Five of Pentacles, which is change around your money issues, money things. And we have the High Priestess, which means that there is information coming from the highest realms to you. I don't think you have to worry about money at all. You have to be careful with it. You can't be cavalier, but there's information that's going to come to you that's going to help that situation, and perhaps help you get over your fear of lack that you might still be holding on to. All right, well, that's what I see, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you would. I'd like to get to 10,000 subscribers. That would be cool. So yeah, a like or a subscribe will help me with that. I do have a Patreon page if you want to support me in that way. And I do have some new classes. Well, some classes coming up, a beginner's astrology class and a continuation of my Kabbalah class for my students who have taken the beginner's class. Those will start in June, and I will keep you posted on that. Thank you for your patience on that, because I know you've been waiting a while for it, but I had to go to Ireland. I had to go to Ireland to see my goddaughter get married, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I do have a few videos from Ireland, so if you want to check those out. I would have done more, but some places it would take like all day for a 3-minute video to upload. So I tried, I really, really tried. But hopefully I'll get to go there again, and we'll be able to share that experience yet again. All right, guys, have a wonderful month. Like and subscribe, as I said, and I will see you next month for your Tarot Scope for July. Take care. Love you.